that would tell me if I said some boneheaded thing that comes off as criticism. So I decided to create something called Chatbot. And what Chatbot does is that he looks at all the conversations and tries to figure out a phrase from a movie, classics like Point Break, right? That would either liven the conversation or be able to take the sting out of bad, curt remarks. So, I'm going to actually, can you switch to the demo? And Amir will demo with me. All right, so I might say something like, "Hi, Amir."
Hello.
How are things going?
I'm going to answer my typical question. Answer? Amazing. Whoa. Or I might say, my car broke down. Oh, bogus.
All right, so let's take another example. Like Amir and I were interacting on some on this next presentation, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Amir, you missed the deadline for submitting your draft to legal." Yeah, Chatbot is just reminding me that, okay, maybe that's a little bit too harsh. Right, I gotta tone things down, right? So, okay, so let's go back to the slides. I want to actually show you the architecture and how that works. So what I just showed you is the Slack. I'm going to go through the Slack client, talking to the Slack server, talking to an API gateway, which is Apache's API gateway, talking to cloud functions, talking to API.ai, and giving back response. All right, so let's go back to the demo. So I want to show you within Slack, there's a UI that you can use to create a bot, and within the bot, what you do is that there's a section called event subscriptions. So I'm going to set the event subscriptions to send events to this Apogee gateway, and within this UI, I can also set which events to subscribe to. So events might be like posting new messages, but it could also be other things like a new user joined the room, or a new user got kicked out of a room, right? So your bots can react on different ways to that. So in this kind of scenario, I basically subscribe to all the messages going to the channel. The next part I want to show you is the API proxy. So the API gateway. And in the API gateway, you can create one or more API proxies. In this scenario, I created this Chatbot event handler, and if I go into it, let's redeploy. Nothing like trying things out in production. So what you have here is that it shows the URLs over here, and it points it to a particular endpoint target. What else you can do too, and I hope that this is not going to break on me. Give me 1 second here. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to play around with that. So what I'm going to actually try doing is I'm going to try deploying a filter. So what the API management system does is that you could do things like spike arrest filters, which prevents your bot from getting flooded with too much traffic, or you can apply things like security, like OAuth 2. So this is kind of an example of application security code that may have lived in your app before is being moved out of your app into higher level services. Let's put a spike arrest filter on here, and let's set it to 10 messages per minute. Okay. All right, so it's submitting it. While that's happening, I'm going to show you Cloud Functions. So Cloud Functions, this is the console. Any Cloud Functions you deploy will show up here. You can literally have hundreds of functions. That's the great thing about this. And you're not going to be charged for the functions that are not running, right? It will be spun up on demand. And we could take a look at the logs. All the Cloud Functions by default has a logger built in. And you can see here, like the last message that was coming through. How are things going? Things of that sort. They all show up in the log message. Let's just double check to make sure this stuff works. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's hope it still works. I'm going to actually introduce a bug in the system and show you how a deployment goes. So inside this Cloud Functions, to write a Cloud Function is very simple. You basically write a function over here. It looks exactly like an Express app because underneath the hood is actually leveraging Express. And then you basically export that particular function. Now, I'm going to put there's a little code in here that actually causes CianoBot to ignore all the requests that are coming in from itself, right? Because CianoBot is only supposed to monitor human responses, and I'm going to introduce this bug over here, and then I'm going to deploy it. So just to show you how deployment works. And it typically takes under 2 minutes to actually get a deployment happening. So while that's happening, I want to quickly show you what's going to happen with this bug. So this bug is going to cause is going to cause the bot to go into infinite loop. And the reason why is because this I created in API.ai a set of intents, and one of the intent is this whoa intent. So this whoa intent, basically what it says is that if it ever sees a message called whoa, it would respond back with whoa as well with a picture of Keanu Reeves. So let's try this out and let's see if it works. Start tracing the session. Okay, let's just double check to make sure it's deployed. Okay. And then all right. So now it's going into its infinite. It went into an infinite loop. So let's take a look at what happened. So one of the cool things. Oh, give me 1 second here. Again. All right. Well, I'm having some issues with the UI for the API management system. But what's happening here is actually, if you look at the logs, you can see that it was sending whoa, whoa multiple times, and then eventually it stopped. Because what was happening was, at the API gateway, we had set a spike arrest filter, and it basically was able to block that flood of messages coming in. So for that, let's go fix the code and redeploy. While that's happening, I want to show you how you can use API.ai to create a new intent on the fly. So I'm going to create an intent. Inside the Slack channel, a lot of people ask, like, how do you do this? Or, I don't know how to do that. So I might say something like, does anyone know how to do something, right? And whenever somebody says this, I think about the Keanu Reeves quote in Matrix, where he says, "Oh, I know Kung Fu." So we'll take this picture and we can put it in the text response. We'll save this and we'll save it here. And once we create the intent, we can actually try it out with the API.ai UI. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I'll say something like, "Mir, do you know how to fix my Slack code?" does anyone? Oh, okay, so it actually matched a different one. Let's try something else. Does anyone know how to fix Slack? Oh, you know what? I forgot to press save. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, it just took a little bit of time to actually get through. So you can actually test within here. And what you see here is that it's able to match the particular intent. And because it's not an exact match, it actually gives you the score. So this gives you a confidence of how confident your application actually matched that particular phrase. And within your code, you could basically put a match filter. And I said if it matches more, if the score is higher than 0.5, then it would actually return. So if we actually go to the code, say, does anyone know how to debug Visual Basic? And it pops up.
Awesome.
So, Amir, what do you think about this bot?